holidays-ish vlog. It's mostly pictures than anything, but I couldn't try and film whilst I was there anyway. But hello, welcome to the video of Cadburys World. I am sat at home and I got back 2 days ago, so this is video will come out literally today, but this is the 2-day thing, so yeah. So enjoy the video and enjoy the pictures as well as a surprise towards the end. But yeah.
Your new designs for our packaging were a huge success.
Well, we had to try something different, just to get ourselves recognized, Father, as we were still a small company. Our aim was to manufacture only the highest quality cocoa and chocolate.
I know, and I could tell you some stories of less scrupulous producers who added brick dust to their cocoa.
Ours was still gritty, but we only added sugar to take away the bitter taste and starch to absorb the fat. However, George had heard of a new kind of cocoa press. He went to Holland in 1866, saw the press being used and brought one back.
The Van Houten press.
Oh yes, Father. You see, because we could extract more of the cocoa butter, there was no need for more additives. Not only was our cocoa essence more palatable, but also output increased.
The Bridge Street factory was now too small to cope, and we had to expand somewhere else.
For some time, George and I had shared the same vision to build our new factory in a garden setting, away from the smoke and grime of the city. We called our new factory Bourneville. We opened our new factory in 1879 and were faced with many more challenges as the size of our workforce increased. As the company prospered, we introduced bonuses, such as payment for output and punctuality, a 5.5-day week, pension schemes, works committees, training, and many other benefits.
I sent my son George to Switzerland to find out how chocolate was made, using fresh milk.
Soon after, Cadbury were able to manufacture chocolate with a much higher milk content that rivaled even the best Swiss products.
That was when we launched our most important new brand. We called it Cadbury's Dairy Milk. It became so popular with its distinctive taste that sales exceeded all our best expectations. And within a short while, it had become our best-selling chocolate. In 1919, we merged with Fry, and the company went from strength to strength.
And so we have seen that big things have their roots in the smallest beginnings.
If you could all please stay seated for the safety announcement.
People with medical conditions that could be aggravated by abrupt or sudden movement are strongly advised to sit in the back row or stand in the next theatre.
So in the next show, the purple benches will move and the yellow one at the back does not. Now we agree.
It's waiting for the song.
No.
Look at Mr. Gorilla Pie.
It's doing the song. He's
Ready? Oh, he's in the moment.
feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord. Getting ready. Feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord.
Water bottles leaks in the back. It's only water.
So it first started off with liquid dairy milk chocolate. Now this chocolate is quite warm, it's at about 45 degrees. So what we need to do is cool it down. So we're going to do that with something called tempering. And how they would have done tempering all those years ago was on this big marble table. So they would spread the chocolate nice and thin like so. And we've got a scraper and we started to mix it around just like this. And the reason we need to temper is because if we put chocolate that's too warm into a mould and we leave it to set, it one probably wouldn't even come out of the mould because it would start to stick. And two, the texture would be quite crumbly and quite dry and it wouldn't have the nice smooth chocolate taste that we like. So doing this is a really key part of the chocolate making process. And what tempering does is it rearranges all of those sugar and cocoa crystals inside the chocolate. That gives us the nice snap to the texture that we like, the nice smoothness and the nice shine. So they would have done it on marble because marble is a really good conductor of heat, which basically means the more I move the chocolate around, the more it's doing a really big job absorbing all of that heat energy. And you can probably tell the chocolate has gotten a little bit thicker, which is exactly what we want, because that's telling you that it has cooled down. But because it was so long ago in the factories, they weren't using thermometers to try the temperature because they were made of glass and they had mercury in there. So if they broke in the chocolate, we wouldn't be able to use it. So what they used was their pinky finger. They would have got their finger, gave the chocolate a little bit of a tap, like so, about around for any hot spots, and then they would left the chocolate on their finger. So what would you guys do? Do you have chocolate on your finger?
Lick it. Lick it.
Yes, they would give it a little bit of a taste back then because they could, but unfortunately we can't do that anymore. So what I can do is I can show you what we would put it into. So this was a mold they would use. It's a metal one, so it's quite loud and it is quite heavy. So in the 50s, 60s we started to use the plastic ones like these, and we still use these ones in our chocolate making department today. So what they would do is they'd pick up some of that chocolate, place it on top like so, give it a bit of a smooth around to get it nice and coated into all of those holes in the mould, just like so. Then they would give it a bit of a scrape to get rid of any of that excess chocolate. Now chocolate was really expensive back then, so they wouldn't want it to waste any. So any of this chocolate left on the table, they would just put it into another mould. And then what you need to do is get rid of those air bubbles. And to do that, we're going to give it a tap on the table, give it a shake, and you can see very tiny air bubbles will then come to the surface as they help hot. And that means that we won't have any gaps in our chocolate when we bite into it, which is exactly what we want. So if you wanted to make your solid dairy milk chocolate, that's where you would start. But if you wanted these filled with caramel or fudge, anything like that, right now there's a little bit too much chocolate in there, so we need to get some of it out. But if I turn that upside down, you can even shake it a little bit, because that chocolate's tempered, it's not going to come out very easily. So we need to give it a tap on and then the chocolate starts to fall out like so. And this is what we call here at Cadburys chocolate rain. Now this process is called shelling, and the reason it's called shelling is because when I turn that round, we now have nice chocolate shells left in the mould. So they would leave this to set first, and then they'd hand pipe in their fillings, put some more chocolate on the back, and then that's how they would get their soft centres. So I'm going to leave this to set in the fridge, and we have fridges now, but back then they didn't. So they would have probably left it in the basement because that was the coldest area of the factory. And it would take anywhere from maybe a day to a couple of days for the chocolate to set. If it was the summertime, they probably wouldn't make very many because it was just too warm. But on the back of these, I can tell that they're done because it is nice and dark and frosted over. So I'm going to give it a bit of a twist. And there we go. That's how the chocolates will come out. Nice and smooth, nice and shiny, and ready to be packed. So you guys can come and have a look at this, but you can't use it because it is recycled. But not to worry, because in the next one you're going to get a pot of chocolate with 2 toppings of your choice. If you have any allergies, let them know. But if not, carry on doing it.
So, my hand is literally shaking doing this. So, if you haven't seen, here was a surprise that I got from the chocolate making factory. Yes, if you did see. Yes, you did propose to me in the chocolate factory bit, like where you make the chocolate right now. I was just doodling, by the way. Just doodling, just doing squiggles. And he was just writing, so I let him do his own thing. And then, obviously, I was just making a doodle flower because she couldn't be bothered doing anything. And then, obviously, he then wrote in the chocolate, "Will you marry me?" So, obviously, said yes. I still can't believe it. It's my dream ring, and it got me my dream ring, and I'm so happy. So it's out now, everybody knows. So yeah, enjoy the video. So I hope you enjoyed today's video and enjoyed a bit of Cadburys in the making. And obviously these are the pictures that I have, so yeah, bear that in mind. And yes, so I hope you enjoyed today's video, and give it a big thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe to the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye guys.